Page 5, Night Journey. This is a piece, they call it a repertoire piece. This is a piece that you can learn to play if you want to play for people, something you might keep. And then you just keep playing it. Even after you moved on in the book, you'd continue to play it. It's in common time, or 4/4 time. It's got one flat, so either we are in F major or D minor. Well, let's look around at the end of it. Where are we at? On D's? Sounds like it's in D minor. D minor, I'm guessing. Eighth note's in the right hand, so hopefully the rhythm's not a problem. It's just, they've got 1, 3, 1 and 2 and. That's pretty much what you're doing. The notes change around a little bit, but just watch their fingering, you'll be fine. In the second line, you've got 1, 2, and then 2, 3, and then a 1, 4, 1, 3. You don't have to do the 1, 3 immediately. You can do like a couple or maybe 4 beats of 1, 4, and then 3. It's a personal thing. And then in the third line, second measure up here for the first part, and then 1, 3. See, this is again like what I just talked about. When you're changing fingers, you pick when it happens. Now they're saying do it on the third beat. Well, you could have done line 2 the same way. I could have done it on the third beat. Whatever. It's a personal thing. Then the fourth line down, third measure, you hear. Coming down. And then at the end. Okay. The idea with this eighth notes, it's a nice pulsing eighth notes that's providing harmony. So they're not going to be staccato. You can't connect them on a piano. You just play them gently. I recommend just a nice relax the wrist and just kind of, I'm kind of doing this with each one. Bum, 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 bum. The melody's in the left hand. Let's look at the left hand. Watch this fingering. Here. There. And then you got to come down. Third finger. Now the last measure, the first line and the fingering they're suggesting is a little tricky because you're here, then you got to come down with third finger again. Ugh. So consider this, the fingering at the first line, you're starting out okay, but when you get to the B flat, use third finger on the A and thumb on the F. Then 2. Now you're closer, you can just do that eighth note with little finger and thumb. 4, 5, 4, 1. I can connect it all with the hands. So it's here. That's what I recommend. Second line, third measure, same thing. You pick up the same thing. Now here, rather than down here, you're just A. It's easier to reach that. Still use fifth finger and thumb. Same basic fingering. Third line, now here you can use the fingering in the book is fine. Now, I tend to use little finger on the F sharp and 4 here, but if you want to use 4 here, that's a stretch. So I tend to use little finger on the F, C sharp. And then next to the last line, for the eighth notes, I do a 5, 3, 2. Then 4. Then lift up, it's a rest. I can play most of this pretty much legato with the fingers, and I like that. I prefer when I'm figuring out a fingering for a piece, can I play it legato with the fingers? I like to be able to feel it. When you figure out your fingering, decide what you want, put the hands together slowly. Now keep this down. So when the right hand comes in, to play it all for you. But you can read it and play it yourself. But when you have it under your fingers, add in there's no articulation except slurs in the right hand or left hand. Add in the dynamics. Very soft. You have to decide what that is, but that left hand is melody. Bring that out, and you have a swell. So you're gonna come out to here. That's where you're headed. So each one gets a little. Then come down, lift up. That's then medium soft. Really, the idea, in my opinion, at the beginning, the left hand or the right hand starts soft, very soft. So the left hand's going to be soft here. But in the second line, when it starts, you're just a little bit louder, just sort of. But the right hand needs to stay soft, very soft. So this is the second line, third measure, or the pickup to the third measure. And lift up between these slurs. Now you're sort of loud, moderately. You can bring the right hand up a little too. Come up to loud. Make sure you lift up these slurs. You're getting softer here. This is the next to the last line on the third measure. You're coming down to, you were loud and you're coming all the way down to sort of soft. Softer. So the left hand is soft. The right hand has to be very soft. Now the left hand is very soft. The right hand has to be really super duper soft. And slow down a little bit. But that's what we want to hear at the end. This note is not melody. Keep that really soft. I want to hear that. Then when you kind of got a handle on that, you can try the andante. Andante is just a nice, gentle stroll, about where I was doing. You figure out what andante feel is to that melody. And that's the overall flow of the piece. That's the andante. It has nothing to do with how fast does the beat go. It's how fast does the overall piece feel. Andante. See, and that's how fast you take it. Real slow and sweet. I didn't mean to perform it for you, but when I get into it, I kind of get into it. So my bad. I'd like to play it with you slowly, just to check the notes and the rhythms. The right hand shouldn't be a problem, just eighth notes. It's the left hand. We want to get in the slurs. So I'm not going to do the dynamics. I'm just going to do notes and rhythms. So I'll give us 4 counts, so let's play it together. 1, 2, ready and go, and